Hi everyone, it's Fred again from Notes for Nomad, video number 312. If you divide 312 times 52 weeks, it means 6 years now. Early in February 2020 was my very first video of Notes of a Nomad. So every week since then, this is the sixth year, finish of it, starting for the seventh year now that I'll be doing these videos. Now, back in 2008, I moved from Toronto to Victoria on Vancouver Island, where I'm currently living. And it was a great move. In fact, the weather is totally different. There's pictures behind me of cherry blossoms. The cherry blossoms are starting to bloom here a little bit earlier than normal. Normally, it's the middle of February until, you know, March and April. But it's already starting, so we've had a mild winter, unlike what they've had in Toronto. So I'll just show you a little bit of what it looks like in Toronto. And that's one of the reasons I remember staying, shoveling snow and saying, I think I'm getting too old for this. And so I wanted to leave Toronto and made sense. And I decided I'm going to the West Coast. And I thought, I don't want another big city. Vancouver's going to be the rat race like Toronto is. I'm going to try Victoria. Great decision. Victoria has some of the mildest weather, unlike what's going on in Toronto at this moment, where people's cars are stuck in the snow. I've been through that for 22 years I lived there. It was a challenge. You know, your snow, you can't get your car out on the road. You had to dig it out and shovel. Whereas what's going on here? The cherry blossoms have started to bloom. They're blooming way ahead of schedule this year. So this is some pictures of recent what the cherry blossoms are looking like. So there's a big difference between the snow-covered streets in Toronto and the cherry blossoms here in Victoria. So that's one of the reasons, the weather. But also it's a smaller community and it's not the rat race. In fact, there's a lot of retired people live here for good reason. Probably because it's the mildest climate of everywhere in Canada. It's sort of a semi-Mediterranean climate. And people are already talking about gardens and some of the flowers are blooming as the cherry blossoms are blooming. And because it's a smaller community, there's more community-oriented activities. And I find it a wonderful place to live. So it was a great decision moving from Toronto to Victoria. And the place you live does have an influence on you. Now, I not everybody like me, I've lived in a few places overseas as well, but it does have an impact on you. I mean, if you're born in a place and you live there all your life, there's benefits to that as well. But there's also sometimes benefits to find a more place that's more conducive to your way of life. And definitely my move in 2008 from Toronto to Victoria has been a blessing. So that's something you might want to consider sometime if you find, hey, there might be a nicer place for you to live, maybe not too far away. In this case, I'm still in the same country, same benefits. Love Canada for many reasons. I'm very patriotic, and it's the mildest climate of anywhere in Canada. Look up Victoria, British Columbia on Wikipedia, and it'll tell you a lot about this wonderful community I live in. So with that, I say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family and friends lots of love and laughter, and hopefully your community is as good to you as Victoria's been to me. Bye for now from Fred. Until next time, from Notes of a Nomad.